Hi, beautiful soul. Hi, dear friend. Thank you so much for joining and being here with me today. I'm Christa Clark, and I've had the call for a while to share content that comes a bit from my heart, from my soul, from things that I'm going through, in hopes that we can connect more and that maybe it will also help you on your path and also help myself, right? I mean, we're all in this together. And if there is no separation, then I don't see how this couldn't hurt you and it couldn't hurt me. So today I'm here just raw, fully exposed. I don't have a script. I don't have a necessarily huge outline. I have many different ideas of things we can talk about and share about. But that's the beauty of life, right? Just showing up in this moment authentically as you are. And that's a little something that kind of kept coming up on my heart that we could discuss is, are you in authentic alignment with yourself? And are you allowing yourself to shift and grow in whatever way that may look like? For me, I was very scared to ever speak out loud or on camera or share any kind of my truth. And for me, I started progressively. I started with a blog, behind scenes, with recipes, but nothing too soulful about that in terms of it's still really great content and it was still helped me in my evolutionary growth. But a cup of rice and 2 cups of water, for example, isn't quite as soul provoking as some of these discussions. Neither's right or wrong. We're just in this evolutionary path. And I love cooking and I love that I shared recipes, and perhaps in the future we'll go down that path again. And I love sharing yoga and the videos. And when I went to go look for content, I do have some new content coming, a beautiful new yoga class and some journeys and travels that I've gone through, some travel kind of blogs, things of that nature. But my heart and spirit really called me to show up in this way. And it froze me. I was like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? And it's all been said before. I mean, how many of us have these kinds of thoughts and feelings? And we're all interconnected. And in what way can we show up more authentically and in alignment with where we're at now? And so this is me doing that. And I just wanted to talk about, are you aligned with your best self? Are you aligned with your dreams and desires? Are you being authentically true and not worrying about what other people think, or if you show up in that way, if it agitates or differs, someone isn't as interested and maybe in that kind of content, but you are. And I think there's room for everyone, and I think everyone has space to share their own truth and to speak their own truth. And maybe for you, it's not speaking out publicly. Maybe for you, it's just making a decision to be in alignment with a desire in your heart. I know for me recently, I'd had to make some life choices that were hard. But I realized I was honoring another person over myself. And how often do we do that in relationships? I I'll be honest, I've been a people pleaser for a long time of my life and kind of setting my own needs aside for the benefit of another. And over the years, over and over, my spirit is just really having me stop doing that, setting boundaries and realizing that you're the main character of your own life. You're here to live your best life and live in the highest alignment that you can with that in whatever way that looks like for you. So if you have a dream and it doesn't align with someone else's life path, you might have to shift and you might have to say goodbye, or maybe not goodbye forever, but maybe this dynamic doesn't quite work. And just living in authenticity and integrity with where you are and where you want to go. And I think as we do that, the universe blesses us and shows us. I know that when I make those choices, all these blessings come in, all these signs of confirmation, all these little omens or signs or things that say, yes, 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 girl, this is right, keep going. And the more that we do that, the more truthful and authentic and aligned we are. And so I wanted to ask, in what ways can you call in your highest timeline or your best self? And in what ways can you make decisions each day to show up in that way? It could be as simple as waking up a little bit earlier, going to bed, deciding not to have that extra drink or no drinks, or deciding, I'll be honest, I enjoy smoking pot. I love marijuana. And for me right now, it's not in my best interest to smoke it. I become very hermit-like and I eat a lot and I want to stay inside and not really socialize. And as much as I love it, I almost love it too much. And and so for me, it's better for me to say, as much as I love this, it's not in my highest interest. My late husband, Gerald Clark, he had a great saying. It said, everything is permissible, but not everything's helpful. And only you know what that is for you. And so while one person might be able to enjoy it and just live their best life, others may not. And so that's up to you, whether that's alcohol, smoking, eating a certain way, making the right food choices, exercising in whatever way that it is, or a friendship or relationship. And only you're going to know what's either hindering your growth or helping it, and how you're able to be a better in alignment and more receiving, or not. And I would also like to say that just accepting where you're at as well. And also knowing that you already are everything. I mean, if God is within me, if God is within you, or God is, and the highest source alignment is within all of us, and we already are all it is, and we already are perfect. But we did come into this learning school, and we did choose to come into this body, into this incarnation, into this earth school. And I think we do have different things that we signed up for as our souls experiencing, wanting to express themselves. And only you're going to know what that is. And so it's tuning into your intuition, it's tuning into your inner voice, and it's honoring yourself. I know there's certain things that deep down I really still desire. And there's that saying, you wouldn't desire it if it wasn't meant for you. And so, how can you set yourself up or come into alignment with it? Because we already are everything, we already have it. And then there's those other expressions that, or the, different concepts that there's another version of you on another timeline that's already living that. And you just have to align with it and call it in. And so, it's just about receiving and being, but there is a little bit amount of doing too. I don't think that it's just passively sitting by. Before, when I was with my husband, I was highly active and constantly publishing content all the time, and a little bit in my divine masculine in a way, and not. I was still in my divine feminine, but not quite as strong. And then when he passed, I went strong into my divine feminine, but I also I lacked a balance with my divine feminine. And I think it's a stance in our life through all of us. How do we come into alignment with our feminine and our masculine in the receiving and the doing? And it's almost like when an example I can think of is when people retire, um, and you're like, oh great, I have all this free time, and you get kind of in that not doing mode. Yet sometimes for many people, it's not the best thing. You need to kind of keep a dream alive, keep your mind alive, keep your body alive, and keep moving forward. There's a great book, and he mentions, the reason that he pretty much stayed alive was that he had a dream and he had a reason to keep living. We have to keep this dream alive, and um, at least in my opinion, this is also a Western mindset. And we could get into more of the Indian mindset, or the Eastern, and in what ways are we doing more with our spiritual practices. So there's many ways to look at things, and I'm not going to say I have all the answers. I'm not going to say I have it all figured out, because who does? And if they say they do, they probably don't, because we're all learning all figuring it out. But I do personally believe that keeping yourself alive with some kind of a purpose is really called for. Gerald and I, we had four things to our happiness, and it was a room with a view. I can show you. I don't think you can see, but I have a beautiful view out of my room, and it really helps so much. Just keeping a room with a view and a purpose. So your drive, your mission, whatever your higher self or spirit or guide or God or whoever you want to say is calling you towards. Hopefully you have the means to do it. That was the third. And then the icing on top, it's not mandatory, but it sure is nice if you have someone to share it with that also loves you and loves the same things you do. Um, so, in short, this is basically a call to ask, are you aligned with your desires? Are you aligned with your dreams? And what do you want? You know, what does your higher self want? What does this next phase of your life look like? And we can't please everyone along the way, nor should we try to. And I do think that making sure that your happiness comes first, that your energy, your workouts, your cup is full so that you can pour into others and show up in your best self. So that was a little bit about what I wanted to talk about with you today. And it was pretty much just unscripted and from my heart. I can see this beautiful, there's a full moon outside my window. I can see it reflecting. So I have the full moon vibe around me. And yeah, just feeling really good and in love with life. I think if you love life, life will love you back. The more that we're grateful and happy with what we have, the more that we can have come in. These are so many teachings that so many people teach that I also adopt and live by myself. Um, so we can talk about other topics in the future. We can talk about, I was thinking we could soon talk about angel guides and connecting kind of with the other side and our omens and spirits, maybe some healthy habits. I'm a huge healthy habit person. And yeah, if you have any other topics or ideas that you want to discuss, we can do that in the future. I'm sure I'll probably have future podcasts or guests on. I don't want to put myself in a box or a niche and say that I have to do it this way.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I know that that's very popular, but I'm a very multifaceted, expressive person, and I want to continue being that way, and I don't want to limit myself. And if we all are source, and source wants to experience itself through all these different myriads of people and experiences, then why should we limit ourselves? Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you liked this content, please let me know. It would mean so much to me. And please leave a comment, like, subscribe. And on this channel, you can find vegan recipes. You can also find yoga videos, breathing. If you have any requests, let me know. Travel vlogs and podcasts and things of this nature. And I want to start kind of communicating with you a little bit more personally as well. So thank you again for being here with me today and helping me kind of overcome my own limitations and stepping into my voice and my authentic alignment. And I encourage you to do the same. So if you like, you can let me know how you plan to do that in the comments below and what's on your heart and what's on your mind. And yeah, just a pleasure to spend time with you in time and space. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Until next time, bye.
Hi, I'm Christa Clark with ArtisticVegan.com, and today I'm excited to be talking to you from Gravity Body Academy, a new online school that Gerald Clark is offering, and I am offering it alongside him. I'm very honored to have learned the work from him and to be able to share it with you. And now you all get to learn from Gerald yourself firsthand. You don't have to travel far distances. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You can do it for a fraction of of the cost in a fraction of the time, and you can watch the media again and again. Structure integration works to change fascia, awaken it, and it helps align your body in the gravity field, finding new horizontality and length in a series of 10 sessions. Become a practitioner or just see how it's done for less than the cost of receiving the work. You can sign up today at geraldclark77.vhx.tv or artisticvegan.vhx.tv today.